Hello and welcome to this week's question point. This week I've been thinking about kindness. If you live in the town of Todmorden, kindness will be a word that's very familiar to you because around the town they have great big letters indicating kindness to one another. Now, as we're also in a time of great stress and difficulty, kindness is also something that's really important, to be kind to ourselves as well as to other people. So this week's question is really quite simple. What does kindness mean to you? Give an example of a random act of kindness you've experienced. Now I'd like you to help yourself to some scrap paper and a pen or a pencil, and I'll put a minute on the clock for you to think about and write your answer. As usual, I've asked a few of our volunteers to answer this question as well. So let's have a listen now for what they had to say.
When I think of kindness, I'm reminded of what my mum taught me as a child, and I still remember it well. She said we should always treat others in a way that we would like to be treated ourselves. And I think if we were all able to do that, the world would certainly be a much happier place for us to live. I also remember many years ago when my children were still young, and money was a bit tight for me at the time. And I'd been asked to work as a volunteer at a youth camp in Norwich. The children had been invited to come along for free, which was good, and they got involved in all the activities while I was able to work as part of a team. The camp lasted for about a week. It was a week, and on the way home by train, which was a long journey, we had to stop at one of the stations to change trains, and my children were complaining of feeling hungry. The problem was I only had £5 in my wallet, and I knew that when I got home I needed to buy bread and milk and some other bits and pieces. So I didn't have any money really to spend on the kids there and then, and I felt quite bad about that. But it was interesting that I felt prompted to ring my neighbour and just to let him know that we were on our way home. Mobile phones weren't available then, so I had to ring from a phone box on the platform, but I'm so pleased I did, because when I spoke to him, he said that somebody had left a parcel of food on my doorstep, and I couldn't believe it. It meant I was then able to buy the children something to eat there and then, which they definitely wanted and needed, and then to continue the journey home. So that's what we did. When I got home and I looked into this parcel of food, I couldn't believe it. This person, and I still don't know who it was just so generous. And what was amazing is that I had used the last of my washing up liquid before going on our little trip. This person had even thought to buy a bottle of washing up liquid and stick it in the box, and it wasn't the cheap stuff either, which was good. Even now, when I think about that incident, that person's kindness never fails to make me smile or to lift my spirit.
When I moved to Old Town, it was very stressful. It was in between the end of the lockdown and the beginning of, like normal life. So I'd moved during that time. Woo! It was really, really, really pressurized. And I remember going out to town to do some shopping and coming back on the bus and finding this beautiful plant on the doorstep. It was from my neighbour, a couple of doors away. She didn't know me, she'd never met me, I'd never met her, but there was a little note saying, "Welcome to Old Town." I just thought it was an extremely nice thing to do, and really lovely, kind act on her behalf, which I was very grateful for.
Well, I hope those were helpful. And as you discuss between yourselves your ideas and your responses, I'll say goodbye and I'll see you next time. Bye.